Hey y'all, hey, this is Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Is today Tuesday? No, today is Wednesday. Oh my God. This goes to show you how my life is so crazy. Today is Wednesday. Oh my God. I got so much going on. 25 degrees this morning. I know it, Hillbilly. I know it's freezing here too. I keep turning my heat on, opening the windows, turning the heat on, closing the windows, turning the heat on, opening the windows. Spring is not fighting hard enough, okay? But in the meantime, between time, let me start y'all off with the morning vibes because my coffee is brewing and I got to pour me a cup. Let me get this day started and remind you guys that today is a good day.
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two,
Hey, Chicago.
Step three, think real hard about what you want to do.
Hey,
Step four, everybody just do your thing. Wake up,
today's gonna be a good day.
wake up,
Today's gonna be a hey.
wake up. Today's gonna be a good
Let me get my coffee, y'all.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. 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 Today's gonna be a good day. Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high,
Other times I'm barely breathing, y'all.
I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo.
Negative thoughts.
The poison they rise.
Hey,
And full of flaws, so here come the flaws. They'll never stop unless I can swap.
all the bad for the good in my head.
When I'm lost.
Hey, what? So I'ma fake good morning, Stacy.
Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience one day at a time.
That's how you operate a cadence, a flow. You grow, you show yourself a foundation.
Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's
Hey,
sensation.
I live my life in my head.
Like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best.
Man, I take it.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Today,
Today's gonna be a good day.
and it is.
Today's gonna be a good day.
I thought it was Tuesday.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Damn. Today's gonna be a
good day. Wake
hey,
up.
Brentilla.
Good day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a
Good
hey.
day. Wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day. Okay, Chicago. Oh, Stacy. Stacy, call Chicago after the show. I thought you were talking to me, man. Hey, good morning. Happy hump day, y'all. Happy hump day. Okay? Happy hump day. Today is normally questions and opinions day, asshole day. All right? I know that I pop in and out. Life gets hectic, and sometimes we have to recalibrate. And so I'm here in the process of recalibrating my life. All right? Stacy, what a why. I'm here recalibrating my life. I had to get some things together. I'm preparing for my trip to Grenada. I leave Tuesday, but I actually leave my house Monday. You don't call me either, Chicago. The phone ring both ways. What the hell? What the hell? Anyway, again, I've been recalibrating my life, preparing for my trip to Grenada. Normally I'm able to just pack my suitcase without thought, but this trip is going to be a little bit different because, I'm staying in the country for a couple of days and then I'm staying on a resort for a couple of days. And so, I got to dress for lounging around in the country. And I'm struggling with that because I'm normally in bathing suits all day at the resort, I normally don't have to think about something to wear, right? And I know I don't have to think about anything crazy, just shorts and a t-shirt and something like that. But my mind just gets so crazy. And then I'm trying not to check a bag. So I got to carry everything on. So I'm being calculated about that. As a matter of fact, I just remembered I need some flip-flops. I'm going to have to go grab my flip-flops from AG's house and take those on my trip because I'm not spending any more money. I'm not. I had to buy stuff to take, with me. And then I shipped some stuff in advance. Okay. Now, when I went to ship the stuff, that international shipping is no joke. Now I understand why the Caribbean folks be sending drums and barrels out at a time, because shipping a small box internationally costs a couple of $100s. I was like, what the fuck? I'm really rethinking my life right now. Like, I should have just packed the shit and just checked my suitcase. But I was so stressed out about it. I'm going to pray that box gets where it gets. Then I learned that when you ship something to the Caribbean island, depending on the island that you're shipping it to, some islands do not have house addresses. And so you just ship it to the island. And then you got to go there and pick it up and pay to pick it up. So you pay to ship it and then you got to pay to pick it up. And then I was told that when it gets to the island, customs and immigration, they're going to go through my shit and they steal. Good morning, Shirley. So I'm really stressed about that right now because I really feel like I could have just paid $40 and took an extra carry-on bag. For real. I don't know. I'm rethinking my life right now. I don't know. I am. No, it has nothing to do with the tariffs. It has everything to do with the fact that they got to take this box. It got to get on a plane. It's like somebody paying for an airline ticket. It got to get on a plane. Then it got to get to the country. Then it got to go through customs. And then the items got to be declared. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is beyond the tariffs. This is something that was in place beyond the tariffs, okay? And so I have that on my mind, okay? And then I ordered, forgetting that I'm leaving on Monday night, I ordered some Crocs because I love Crocs. And I said, oh my God, what if my Crocs don't get here in time, right? The people in my building steal. That's the sad thing. Like, you live in a building, they say it's luxury apartments, but ghetto ass people live here because you got to, as soon as your package gets delivered, you got to race downstairs while the Amazon man is putting your package down, or the Crocs people, or whoever you ordering from, Macy's or whatever. Soon as they put the package down, you got to be down there in their face grabbing your package. Because people steal. Like, you don't think I'm paying attention? If I see somebody in this building with anything that I've ordered after my package is stolen, I'm popping the fuck off. I am. And I'm calling 911. I am. And I'm pressing charges because that's just unnecessary. There was some serious thievery going on here a couple of years ago. And they found out that it was 2 kids that lived here with their mother, single parent. And I was like, well, did they press charges? Like, are they getting evicted? And they were like, no, the people didn't press charges on them. So therefore, the management company didn't have to file eviction against the tenant. See, I would have, I'm on the fence. I might have felt bad because she was a single mother with 2 kids. I might have felt bad too and not press charges. But damn, at least give me the money for my shit. I sent money in the envelope to Czechoslovakia, $85. You know what, Hillbilly? Don't laugh. When I got married in when did I get married? 1992? I went on my honeymoon, right? And when we were running out of money on our honeymoon. We were young. Our wedding was expensive. Okay, child. And our family sent us money also in an envelope while we were out of the country. It was actually they sent it. Did they send it FedEx or UPS? Something like that. and we had to go and pick it up at the airport. But it got to us. It was in an envelope. It was a couple of $100, and it made it to us just fine. But I had to send shit like sunblock. I had to send my French press because I don't want to drink instant coffee, right? And so I sent a French press. Call me bougie if you want to. Okay. I like to drink really nice coffee. And I went to Starbucks, bought fresh beans in the bag, and had them ground them for a French press, right? Because the French press needs a little coarser ground. And I just have to have my French press. So I sent my French press and I sent some sunblock and some other things that could be there when I get there because I don't want to check a bag. All right. Now, I hope all of this was for nothing, not for nothing. Pray for me, okay? So we are in the month of acknowledgement, and today is April 9th. Can I tell y'all, before I get into the read of the day, I saw a movie last night. Now, if you know me, right, you know that I love horror movies. If you know me, you know I love horror movies. And there was this movie that I kind of side-eyed because I never heard of it. It's called what is it called? 825 Forest Road. I don't know if it's streaming yet or whatever, but I saw it. Don't ask me how I saw it. Don't matter. Okay. 825 Forest Road. That is a horror movie. For anybody that is interested in horror movies, 825 Forest Road. Let me tell you something. That shit scared me. And I mean, I talk to my friends on a regular about scary movies and how they don't make them as scary as they used to be. Baby, that scared me. And I was sitting in my house in the dark and I kept looking behind me and looking around. So if you're interested in a good horror movie, go out there and find 825 Forest Road. All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know, Hillbilly, if I could have watched that and been outside in the lands of West Virginia, I'd have been scared in all the darkness. All right. Check it out, y'all. Don't say I never told y'all shit. I'm just saying. So, what did y'all think about that? Since we're talking about movies, what did y'all think of the Keke Palmer and SZA movie called One of Them Days? Did y'all see that? It's on Netflix. You know, I saw a couple of people comment on it on Facebook. They said it was good or whatever. So, you know, I'm normally not into, I like comedy kind of stuff, but it got to be really fucking funny. Okay. I watched One of Them Days. Did anybody on here watch One of Them Days with Keke Palmer and SZA? By the way, Keke Palmer and SZA look great. They are beautiful women. Let's not take that away from them. Anybody see that One of Them Days? On Netflix? If you haven't seen it, you can take a peek at it for yourself. Come up with your own, you know, opinion of the movie. I thought it was cute. It was just all right. I did think that the storyline was lacking a little bit, but I did feel that the acting was good. Brandilla, I knew you were going to look for it. I knew you were going to look for it because, you know, we do that. We do that horror shit, okay? It was just all right for me, but the acting was great. And so let's not take that away from them. Sometimes we say the movie was trash and we attribute everything as trash, but I can actually separate the storyline from the acting. And Chicago. Chicago, that's a great description. That is a great description of it. It was straight like a female Friday wannabe. I want to say it was along those lines. You are absolutely right. Really, Brandilla? I love that. I love that. I love that. Mm. So, anybody watch Real Housewives of Atlanta? I don't really watch it, but some shit jumped off on the show with Kenya Moore and Britt. And so I had to tune in. And plus, I tuned in because I wanted to see what was going on with Portia and Shamia. Portia and Shamia are best friends. But they got a little bit of tension going on between them right now. I don't know what it is. And so I turned my attention to the show. I didn't go back the season before because I don't care. I feel like it's a soap opera you can catch on. And while I was watching it, mainly for Portia and Shamia originally, but then Kenya and Britt started to have a little bit of discord. And so, how far would you go to get somebody back? So what happened on the show was Britt and Kenya were button heads. You know, Kenya is very standoffish at times, but sometimes she doesn't mean it as a personal attack. That's just how she is. And Britt didn't like Kenya's attitude, and it just started to go downhill. All right. Her and Britt got into something. Britt threatened her with a pew pew. I have a gun and I have a this and I have a that. Now everybody knows Kenya Moore is petty. Okay. If you go for Kenya, she's going to take you to hell. That is about all like how I could describe it. She's going to take you to hell. So as Kenya was doing her opening for her salon, during the presentation moment when she had everybody's attention, she held up canvases, right, that had pictures on it. The Bravo did not show us the pictures because they were explicit, but they were allegedly of Britt doing porn or some type of porn stuff. So Kenya Moore is not filming with Housewives of Atlanta at this moment, but as per her interview with Tamron Hall, she is still being paid by Bravo. So how low would you go to piss somebody off that pissed you off? Do you think that was too low, like to show somebody's past history, you know, on national TV, especially if it's porn? Do y'all think that that's too low to get somebody back? I know Michelle Obama said, you know, when they go low, we go high. But sometimes you go low, low, low to hell. But what is too low? What is too low? And for those that watch ROHA, do y'all think that Kenya deserved to be punished? Okay. Well, Cheryl Lee, you know, that's funny you said that. Behind the Gates, there is a black soap opera out on Paramount. I think it's on Paramount Plus, right, Cheryl Lee, if I'm not mistaken. AG actually told me about it. He said that there was a black soap opera, and I just don't want to indulge. I'm happy that there's a black soap opera, but I hate to get attached to soap operas because it reminds me of when I was attached to General Hospital and All My Children. And I would be so frustrated watching these soap operas because they would drag out the storylines. And I find myself hollering and screaming at the TV. And it just stresses me the fuck out. But I do say, if you're into soap operas, support Behind the Gates. I believe it's on Paramount Plus. Brandilla says she hosted a viewing for the girls at Design School and our alma mater here in Baltimore. Bree and I worked the viewing. I posted a pic of us there. Okay. Go, girl. I love it. Yes. Black Beauty. I love it. I thought there was laws against revenge porn. It is supposedly based on the interview she had with Tamron Hall. They did not charge her with revenge porn. So I don't know if more is to come or not. I'm not sure. But do y'all think that Kenya went too low? Like, how low would y'all go to piss somebody off that pissed you off? Right? How low would you go? Anyway, I got a topic. But first, before I get into the topic, I'm going to read the Um, I'm going to read the positive word of the day. Okay, because we are in the month of acknowledgement, and today is April 9th. Today is actually my granddaughter's birthday. So let me tell y'all what my old ass, menopause ass did. April 6th, I gave my granddaughter a shout out. I texted her happy birthday. I put happy birthday up on Facebook. I was celebrating her birthday. I was stressed because I had to get her birthday gifts and shit like that. And my son texted me and said, you know, her birthday is not until the 9th. I was like, see, and I only got 3 grandkids. Okay. So there's no excuse as to why I mixed up her birthday. 6-9, what the fuck? Okay. So today, for real, is my granddaughter's birthday, and she has turned 7. Time is just a flying. These kids are getting grown. 7. Chunk will be 12 this year, and Amaya will be 24. Like, time is just going by. All right. Time is going by. So happy birthdays to my special little girl, Aries Kyrie, for turning 7. We love you. We are proud of you. Yes. Happy birthday, boo. I tried to watch Behind the Gates. I want to support. I can't get into it. I'm not really into soaps. I cut it on and let it play just to give it ratings. Okay. See, that's how I feel. I'm not really big on soaps, but whatever. Okay. Well, today again is April 9th, and we are in the month of acknowledgement. So let's get into the positive word of the day. And then I have a question for y'all. April 9th, I am willing to acknowledge there are things in my life that do not smell quite right. There are things in my life that do not smell quite right. What does that mean? What does your life smell like? At first, it may seem like an unusual question. On second thought, the question will probably reveal to you some things you may have overlooked. If you were to take a whiff of your life, which response mechanism would be activated? A gag reflex, the laugh button, a sigh of relief, or unspeakable joy? If you were passing by your life, what would you smell? A bed of roses or a gym locker full of sweaty socks? Perhaps some of grandma's home cooking. Or is it more like popcorn that has been left in the microwave too long? If you were to throw open the front door of your life, what would hit you in the face? The scent of carpet fresh or the stench of a moldy basement? The aroma of a cake that's just about done or the smell of trash that needs to go out? Most of us are very familiar with the way our lives look. Few of us ever taken the time to make sure that our lives smell as clean as they look. Oh my God. Can I read that last sentence again? Few of us have ever taken the time to make sure that our lives smell as clean as they look. What does that mean? Quite often, what our ears, eyes, and hands miss, our nose can detect. The sense of smell is also quite useful because it evokes memories. With a whiff of something, you could be thrown back into a memory of something that happened, how it happened, and whether or not you liked what happened. From there, you are motivated to encourage or discourage the same thing from happening again in your life. Most important, the sense of smell evokes feelings. If something in your life doesn't smell right, you will not feel right. If you don't like what you feel, you know it's time to clean up. Are you that transparent with yourselves? Until today, you may have only been concerned with the way your life looks. With the way your life looks. You may have ignored certain things you heard or saw, but you cannot ignore a smell. Just for today, be devoted to sniffing around your life. Be on the lookout for rotting things you need to discard and fragrant things that you can't put on display. Today, I am devoted to sniffing around all aspects of my life. Does your life smell as it looks? You know, a lot of people walk around looking like they smell like shea butter, coconut oil, and frankincense incense, right? But they might look that way, but their life itself, the things you cannot see, might stink a little bit. Does your life look like what it really is? That's such a great question. And that's why I tell people all the time, do not focus on social media. Do not look at social media as a gauge for your life, because people are capturing moments in times, mostly they're happy moments. It's very few things you're going to scroll past. You might find some, but it's the social media is more filled with the joys of life, things that people are experiencing, moments in time. That is not necessarily how people's lives look. When you see happy couples on social media, people automatically assume these people are the best couple. They don't have any problems. We don't know what their life smells like. But here, the message today is look at your own life and ask yourself, does my life smell as it looks? And I'm going to say, as far as my life is concerned, when people look at me, they probably say, she smell like shea butter. I'm hoping that's what they fucking say. Okay? But I know I got some stink in my life. I do. I definitely do. Right? And I'm trying to get it together. That's why I say I'm recalibrating my life, because I have some stink in my life. Some things because of bad choices, irresponsibility or whatever. I got a little stink going on, but that's me being transparent with myself. We cannot grow. We cannot do better unless we are being transparent with ourselves and being honest about where we are in our lives and what our lives truly look like, right? A lot of us focus so hard on making sure that our external images are perfect, that what people see is perfection. But inside, our true lives be stinking. Are you honest with yourself? Are you honest with yourself? Right? I mean, I find myself now having conversations with myself. When I go to shop, or when I think about planning a trip, or whatever it is, now I find myself stopping and going, is it necessary? Do you need it? I know it's pretty. It looks good. It's a good time. But you need to recalibrate, Roy. You need to prioritize. You need to make sure your life truly is what you're projecting. And I got a little stink in it. Nobody is perfect. So if you are the person walking around going, I ain't got no stink in my life, maybe you need to sit down and be honest with yourself. Okay? Because there's always areas in our lives that we can correct, where we can do better. Well, Shirley, about the stock, Shirley's question is, how many are invested in stock right now? For me, there's people out there that's panicking and selling their stock and stuff like that. But what people have to understand is, when you invest in stocks, it's a long-term investment for the most part. And so when we have political unrest, the stock market is impacted. Okay. And my money is still in the stock market. I'm not one to run and sell my stocks and stuff like that, because of the fluctuations in the market. That is to be expected. And so if you have long-term goals, you know, it is what it is. This is not the first time the stock has crashed, been down, been struggling. Hopefully in a couple of years, it'll turn back around. We just got to get through this rough patch. Okay. I'm praying and I'm hoping, but I do have money there. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not. I'm gonna let God take care of it. Okay. Stacy said, there are areas that people may look at me and say she is living that life. Some days may or may not be true. Right? Stacy, I am pretty sure people say that about me, right? They see I travel. They see I do things. I have great friends, okay? I really, really do. And if it wasn't for some of my friends, I wouldn't do half of the things that I do. But I have friends that push me and they be like, come on, let's go here and let's go there. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know. and they push me to go and live outside the box and experience new things. And not everything is financially taxing, which is also why I appreciate my friends, because we do things that are cost friendly. And then other times we do things that cost a lot. But we have balance, okay? Perfect example. We went to a Luther Vandross Relive concert in Bethesda, Maryland. Right? Y'all know that. I have never, these are the new experiences my friends give me. I have been to concerts, so I'm not going to say that. But I have never gotten on a bus and went somewhere on a bus for 4 hours, okay, to come back the next morning on that same fucking bus. I was exhausted, but I had a wonderful time. So wonderful that I'm going back to Bethesda, Maryland at the end of April to see Kiki Wyatt. I mean, listen, it's an inexpensive trip. It gets me outside. I mean, and we just going for it. So when we go, we catch the bus in the city. We're on the bus for 4 hours. We stay at a hotel overnight. We go to the theater. We go back to the hotel, hang out at the bar, and we're back on the bus in the morning. And I want to go and support Kiki Wyatt because, you know, she is one of those talented artists that I feel does not get the respect in the music industry, just like many other R&B artists that we have out there, right? A lot of them do not get the respect that they deserve, right? Because, you know, the music industry is garbage, okay? And they're not really giving a lot of people with talent a chance. Good morning, mother. And so I'm excited about going to see her. And, you know, another 4-hour bus trip. So I love my friends. I love how they get me outside of myself. And again, the message, as it relates to the message today, reflect on your life, okay? Do some reflecting and make sure your life looks like what it truly is. Be transparent with yourself, okay? Now, the question I have for you today is, oh, what is this? Oh, the question I have for you today is this. Oh, let me type it in. That is my question today. Do you separate your friends? Do you separate your friends? Thumbs up while you coming in. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Do you separate your friends? Listen, my show can be controversial at times, you know, because people, when I do topics on my show, some people be like, were you talking about me? Are you talking about me? I'm talking about everybody. Okay, I'm talking about every fucking body. That's what we do. We talk, we have conversations. And if it hits home and the kick, you know, kick dogs do holler. But we are here to do better. Okay? Do you separate your friends? Hillbilly said, I mean, honest answers, y'all. Not here to protect feelings or anything like that. We are here to be honest, okay? Open and honest. Do you separate your friends? Hillbilly said, I guess yes. I have different friends and friend groups, mostly based on hobbies, activities, and interests. That is an excellent response, Hillbilly. mostly based on hobbies, activities, and interests. Okay? Stacy said, depends. Some friends, you know, their energy might clash. So that's a yes then, Stacy. Because you said depends. Some friends, you know, their energy might clash. So that's a yes. You do separate your friends based on energy. Brandilla said, I have real friends, work friends, neighborhood friends of friends, etc. Different circles. So is that a yes? You separate your friends. Is that a yes? Because Stacy and Brandilla are giving me vague answers. That's a yes? Do you separate your friends? Mark said, no, don't have enough to separate. I know that's right. I know that's right. That's a yes. Okay. And Brandilla is a yes too, based on her comment. My next question is, why do you separate your friends? Hillbilly answered, based on hobbies, activities, and interests. And Brandilla said, Stacy said, energies might clash, which is a good one. And Brandilla said, I have different groups of friends. How does your friendship circle take it when you separate the friendships? Is it an obvious separation? Do your friends notice that you separate your friends? Has that become an issue for you in your friendships? The separation of friends. So Brandilla said that's a yes. They're separated by default. Most don't know each other. Okay, that's a fair answer. But Brandilla, let me go a step further. Most don't know each other. I understand that, right? But when you're going out and you're doing things, like I met a lot of people through Maria, right? Like Maria is one person that she'll invite me out, and she'll invite me out amongst her other friends, right? And I get to know them. I meet them and I get to know them, right? And so Brandilla, when you say they're separated by default, most don't know each other. When you have events and you invite people, why is it a conscious or subconscious separation? Because I would think that if you're having an event, what prevents you from inviting this friend and that friend, even though they don't know each other? Why can't they meet each other? Or is it by design you purposely separate them based on what Stacy said? Energies might clash. And are your friends understanding of that separation, or does it create obstacles in your friendship? That's a question. Does it create obstacles in your friendship? I've gotten 6 friends to travel with me in 30 years. Okay. I like it. I like it. I think if I had to answer the question, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't think I consciously separate my friends. Um, I don't think I do. Not consciously. Subconsciously, I might do it, but consciously, I don't. Now, I mean, I don't think I do. I try not to. I try to invite my friends to stuff. You know, if we are active friends that are actively hanging out, then I will invite you. Um, so I don't know if I consciously do it. Subconsciously, I probably do. I'm gonna start paying attention. Stacy said, and this is a good one, but do they know they not for everybody? Stacy said everybody isn't for everybody. There are laid back friends that would clash with turned ones. I never felt the need to explain to any as I don't bring them together. Okay. Good morning, Michael. Yes, it's usually because of activities or travels. Back to it's similar to what Hillbilly said, right? Around your hobbies, around your activities, stuff like that. Um, and energy. Energy is a big deal to me. Your energy. And it really depends on where I am in my life. Um, what energy I want to be around. And so I think energy is a key word. Thank you, Stacy, for that, because that's what would make me separate friends or separate myself from certain friendship gatherings. Because if I don't enjoy the energy of other people's friends, then I'm not going to want to be around. And it might force my friend subconsciously to separate me from other people because maybe I just can't deal with their energy. Right? And it's not personal. Like I could love the person, I could really like the person, but if I'm in a certain place in my life and I don't want to deal with that energy, I'll be like, no, I don't want to deal with that energy. And I'll shift to the energy that I want to deal with at that particular time. And so I think subconsciously I do that. Brandilla said, I don't hide the world from my friends. I'm hiding my friends from the world. Oh my God. I know that's right. I know that's right. What about hanging with married friends versus single friends? Right? Do you think there's a difference? For example, if you are a married person and you have a bunch of single friends that you hang out with, do you think that that will cause issues in what energy is presented, married versus single friends? Right. That's what I say, Stacey. My circle is small too. Like I could be like 5, 6 people and I just swish them around. And for the most part, I think all of my friends, well, yeah, all of my friends, I think with would get along with each other. Right? Now I can't speak for my friends getting along with other people's friends because I got some friends that don't have any patience and they might not get along with other people's friends. So for example, if I'm invited out to an event with a friend, I might not, and they invite some of their other friends, that might make me rethink inviting some of my friends because maybe their energy is not going to match those energies. And I don't think anything is wrong with that. Cheryl Lee said usually they separate themselves because I am open and ready to go. I love new experiences and new people, and I accept people as they are. And Cheryl Lee, I can attest to that experience with you. You are the most easygoing person I know, and your energy is so calming that it doesn't disrupt any environment as far as I'm concerned. And so I can see where they might separate themselves because you're open and you're easy to work with and flow with. I don't combine my poor rich friends. Why not, Hillbilly? Why not? Why not? Why you don't combine your poor rich friends? Honest, besides 2 or 3, this is my circle of friends. My family coffee with friends. I love that. And you can't separate us. You can't. Stacy said there's a difference. My married friend's spouses, gay, have concerns with them hanging around me. Let's talk about that for a minute. Why? Why? What is the concern? Right? To me, when a married couple has an issue with their partner hanging out with one of their friends that's single, to me, that's a sign of insecurities within their relationship. Anybody else have this problem? Anybody else have this problem? People that are married, the spouse has an issue with their spouse hanging out with their single friends. Anybody else have this issue? So Stacey, how do you navigate around that? Is that a conversation you have with your friend? Is that something y'all discuss? How do you navigate around that? Hillbilly said, rich friends say things that hurt. Great point. Rich friends say things that hurt the poor one's feelings, not out of malice, but the pain is the same. Wow, Hillbilly, you are right. You are so right. Oh, is that what it is? But that still to me tells me that there's a trust issue in their relationship. To elaborate, the spouses usually don't want their partners hanging with me as they think I'm on the prowl. On the prowl for their partner, or just outside on the prowl, and they don't want their partner out there with you while you're hunting while you're prowling. What is it? Are they concerned that you're going to sleep with their partner, or are they concerned that you're going to expose their partner to the prowling lifestyle? What is it? Keep your chick home makes me look at my friends twice, though. Like, you're not going to address that. That is a difficult thing to address, but unless they're coming right out saying my spouse doesn't want me to hang with you, you know? What about, no, I don't want to separate men from women. I want to keep it general. Chicago said, keep it real, Hillbilly. Me being the poor friend, I would want to hang with the rich so I can learn how to come up. True, Chicago, but let me tell you something. You got to be of a good, healthy mindset. You got to be of a good, healthy mindset, okay? To be able to be that person, Chicago, because I can see where some people that are maybe not as in the same position as somebody that's wealthy, if they are struggling internally with where they are in their lives, they might not be able to be around that kind of environment. But if you are, if you are that person, like you said, that want to learn and want to experience things from them, then yes, you probably can be in that space. Okay, out there flirting with other women. So their issue might be they don't want their partner hanging with you while you're out there trying to find, while you're out there prowling. I'm just going to keep it like that. While you're out there prowling, because then it makes it look weird that she's with you while you're out on the prowl. I don't know. That wouldn't bother me. Repercussions from their transgressions. Okay. Mark said it's all how that poor person takes the conversation. Focus on the message and not the messenger. That's maturity. That's for a person that's looking for growth. Okay. And amen to that. Amen to that. Hillbilly said, Mark, that's a different concept. Hanging out isn't about work. That's what offends the wealthier side. Ooh. Ooh. Didn't think about it like that. Hillbilly, but you are right. They not there to teach you anything. They're just hanging out, drinking beers, having a good ass time. Wow. You know, I mean, Stacey, trust is a big deal. And I've been working on myself individually because I know that I carry heavy trust issues, right? From past experiences. And I've really been working on myself. I really have. And it hasn't been easy. And I have learned to that a lot of the trust issues that I'm carrying and a lot of things that I might have been feeling about other people had nothing to do with other people. It had everything to do with myself. And so I had to work on that. And that took me time. And I still have trust issues, right? But not to the point where I would limit my partner from hanging out with his single friends or whatever. Like, that's not my thing. Because I feel like motherfuckers can fuck in the calm closet at work. They can take breaks and fuck. They can call out sick and fuck. Like, I ain't got no time to be worrying about what my significant other is doing, right? That trust is built between he and I in a relationship. And, you know, that trust grows over time. And so I've gotten a lot better with not letting shit bother me that used to bother me before, because baby, I can't allow all of that nonsense in my headspace. I cannot. And I feel like anything that happens in the dark is going to come to light, right? And don't let my coochie itch. Don't let it smell either, because I'm poking somebody, right? And so that's how I'm navigating through life right now. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to trust the process. And so I don't think that I would have a problem if I was married with my husband hanging out with his single friends. We're grown at this point. Like, we're not 20, we're not 30s. We are grown. We have developed friendships over the years. People have been married, got divorced. I mean, I can't get into all of that. I got to deal with me and my partner and what we got going on. And as long as there's trust in that relationship, then what he is doing should be based on the trust that we built in our relationship. And if y'all are driving yourselves crazy with your significant others hanging out with single friends because you don't have trust, you got to work on yourself. You got to work on yourself. Okay? True, but what does wealthy people talk about even around beer? Money, how to make more money, and how they got there. Oh, I don't know, because I don't have wealthy friends. I don't have. I've been around wealthy people. I have friends who have wealthy friends, but I don't have wealthy friends. Well, key point, right? If you can't trust your partner to hang out, then keep that ass in the house. That's, to me, what kind of relationship is that? If you can't trust your partner to hang out, what kind of relationship is that? What kind of relationship is that? Hillbilly said the thin line to walk is keeping it entertaining until the time comes that work intrudes and you get your chance to talk in the one-on-one settings that bridges the gap. Otherwise, it's when the world collide. Cheryl Lee said, I think different relationships serve different purposes in your life. Oh! Let me put this on the... Baby, you ain't never lied, Cheryl Lee. You ain't never lied. Different... Listen. Different relationships serve different purposes in your life. Can I clap any louder than that? Can I clap any louder than that? Different relationships serve different purposes in your life. They do. I love that. We do. We do evolve over time, right? We evolve based on our life experiences. And throughout that evolution, people, places, and things change. They do. Everybody Ghost said, good morning. I just got off the phone with him. Oh, tell him good morning. All right. Oh, did he have his vasectomy yet? I mean, he came on the show and told us he was having a vasectomy. So I feel like we got a right to find out if he had his vasectomy yet. And I have another question, because we are family here on Coffee with Friends, even though we're on social media and everybody can hear us. What drove you? Get Ghost on the phone. What drove him to a vasectomy? I hope. Let me not say this. I'm gonna spank my mouth. Okay. Is there another baby on the way, and that's why he ran to get a vasectomy? What's happening? I want to know about this vasectomy. He jumped on here, told us he was getting a vasectomy, and then he disappeared. Hillbilly said, my rich friends would never go mushroom hunting. My mushroom friends won't even get on a plane. I love them both. Well, I get on planes and I want to mushroom hunt. You see, I want to do both. I love it. I want to sleep in a yacht. I want to be outside. I want to hike. And I want to fly on planes on Emirates in first class. I'm diverse. I can hang with your rich friends. They won't offend me. The fuck? I could do both. I can hang with the poor ones too. Okay? I'm diverse in my life. Shit. Shirley, I'm just going to keep this up here because I think this is a perfect ending to the message. For people who are struggling to maintain their friendships because they separate their friends based on energy, based on hobbies, based on activities, based on lifestyle. And for those people that get offended because people separate their friends based on that, right? This is a simple phrase. Different relationships serve different purposes in your life. Stop being angry with your friends because they don't mix their friends together, right? Because there's a reason why some people do not mix friends. There is. Now, if you are separating your friends based on race, now that's a different story. If you just want to hang out with all your white friends and then you want to hang out with all your black friends separately, that's some bullshit. Now, I'm going to call your ass out on that. But if you're separating your friends based on energy, based on lifestyle, based on hobbies, then nobody can blame you for that, because maybe I have a girlfriend that likes to go to Sip and Paints and maybe my other friend does not. Why would I invite you to a Sip and Paint knowing that's not your thing so that you could get there and complain the whole time? Or I might have a friend that doesn't drink, but I want to go, I'm going out to an event that involves sitting at the bar drinking. So I might not invite my friend who doesn't drink, because what they gonna do? Sit at the bar all night and drink water and ginger ale, right? I have friends that don't particularly like to travel. Am I not gonna travel with my other friends because you don't want to travel? No. Okay. I have friends with some of y'all I can share a hotel room with, and some of y'all I can't, for whatever reason. Right? Differences. Like, I like the TV on. You might like the TV off. If you are a person that cannot sleep with the TV, then I cannot share a room with you. I need to have the TV on. And so that's where Maria and I, it works because just this past weekend, I woke up in the middle of the night, turned the TV off. Not sure if it was disturbing her or not. And when I woke back up, the TV was on. She got up and got the remote and turned the TV back on. I was fine with that. That doesn't bother me. Good morning, Ghost. Wait, we were trying to get an update on the vasectomy. You jumped on here about a week ago and said you were getting a vasectomy, and then you disappeared. Is there another baby on the way? What triggered you to get a vasectomy? I want to know. Oh, okay. There you go. I'm so petty. I need to know. Like, uh-uh. That damn car is loud.
Oh, I got you. Is that better?
That's better.
Okay.
The hell. So what is this vasectomy update? What triggers you to go get a damn vasectomy? Is somebody out there pregnant having another ghost?
Shit, they ain't gonna have one by me.
Wait, what?
They ain't not finna have no little ghost by me. Ain't no more babies coming from me. Ain't no baby on the
Oh,
way. No, none of that. Hell no.
because
I'll
I thought
say,
maybe you got somebody
nah,
knocked up and you ran to get a vasectomy.
fuck no. Fuck no. Uh, Now, I had been thinking about one since, but I was still open to the possibility of having another one for a while. And then, what is this? April. I'm about to be 40 in 3 months. Who trying to start over, wiping asses, waking up in the middle of the night with screams and crying and paying a mortgage for daycare? And I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. So that means by the time that kid get out of my house, I'm gonna be in my 60s? Fuck no. I can't live my life until my 60s? Fuck out of here. I'm saying, fuck them kids. I got 3, 2 boys and a girl. I'm good. I'm done.
Wait. So it's amazing that you're saying that because I know a good few people in their 40s that are still hoping that they have children.
Lord bless your heart, but you're starting a little too late. But hey, you know, if you ain't
But
got one and you still shooting for it, or you got one and you shooting for it and you in your 40s, bless your heart, because the older I get, the less patience I have, and I don't have any as of now already, and I haven't had none for a while. I'm not. Nah, I'd rather put my money into my cars and everything else than put it into some more kids. Having a child is life altering and costly. I'm good. I'm done. I've been on child support for all 3 of my kids before. You think I'm going for a fourth? A possibility of a fourth? Fuck no.
I
Fuck
know
no.
that's right. But a vasectomy opposed to condoms. So I guess you feel like you just want to be able to sleep at night and not have a concern with any
Yeah.
oopsies and accidents.
Man, I can shoot the club up and not hit nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that takes a lot of worry from me though. That take a whole lot of worry off my back. A whole lot of stress, a lot less to worry about. This is my form of birth control. forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't want to make it a spectacle of like telling nobody if I meet somebody else or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I won't. Oh Lord, I want a bitch to tell me she pregnant. Oh, but I'm going the whole 9 months with you. I promise. I'm gonna go the whole 9 months with you. And while you in that delivery room having that baby, I'm gonna shatter your whole world. I'm gonna shatter your world.
That's crazy.
No, what's crazy is you thinking that you was gonna put a baby on me, knowing you was sleeping with somebody else.
Well,
That's crazy.
Hillbilly said his friend is expecting at 58.
Woo! Shit.
You know, I feel like this, and I know I'm gonna get darks thrown at me, but I'm gonna put this out there because I got a 10:30 meeting that I gotta ramp up for. But I'm gonna put this out there. When you are thinking about having children in your late 40s and 50s, think about the children because beyond yourself, right? What quality of life are you going to be able to give your children at that age? That's when everything starts to hurt us. We lose our patience. We're tired. We're about to go through menopause or whatever the case may be. What quality of life are you going to be able to give that child? If you're 45, by the time the child turns 10, you're 55, right? Are you going to want to be that person that's running around the parks and doing all this shit at 55
Well, no,
with some kids?
no, they not. And you can say you are because you feeling good right now. But
Oh
at
shit,
that time,
Cheryl Lee said her uncle had a vasectomy and he still got somebody pregnant. DNA was 99.99.
uh huh. I'm saying, but you got to keep on going back and making sure, that you ain't got nothing swimming. Fuck out the way, dumbass bitch. But you got to keep on going back to the doctor and getting your stuff tested to make sure that you ain't got no live swimmers going on and whatnot. Because best believe after this vasectomy happened, I like you can't have sex for like 8 days. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
And
a long time for you, Ghost. What you gonna do? Cry in the dark?
nope, I'm not worried about it. I don't care. I know I have a bigger goal, so I ain't tripping. I'm not worried about it. But best believe, come day 8, oh nigga, I'm gonna beat that boy like he stole something. I promise you. I want all this shit come
Oh
up
my
out the
God, it's
line.
gonna hurt. That is terrible.
Nah, because once you get the vasectomy done, you ain't not fertile no more. You know what I'm saying? Everything, all the leftover sperm that's still in them lines, you got to get them out. So I'm gonna beat that boy until it's all gone. No, I don't need nothing active. Nope.
You know what? I cannot.
Mm-mm. I don't need no more kids.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Ghost. I'm so
And
happy.
if we being quite honest, if
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm just preparing for my meeting.
well, see, if we being quite honest, if we being quite honest, I did not want the last one. It was just happened to be my daughter. I didn't want the last one. I didn't know it was a girl, of course. You know what I'm saying? But at the time when she told me she was pregnant, I was like, no, hell no. I was like, bro, I'm not trying to have another kid. I'm not financially able at that moment, you know what I'm saying, to take care of a child. I said that don't make no sense to bring no kid into this world. And when first of all, we not even together. Like we
Right.
not even together. Like we don't have that title. Like we probably kick it with each other every day. Like we together, but we officially we not together. So
Right.
like I don't know. I set up 3 abortion appointments. When she got there and got into the parking lot each time, but couldn't go through with it. So when it got to the point where it was too late to turn back, it was like, ain't no point in being upset about it, being mad. I'm not finna live with regret and holding it over your head and throw it in your face. Oh, I didn't want it, but you kept it. And I'm not doing all that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we here now. We passed the point of no return. Hey, what is it? I'm excited now. Fuck it. I gotta embrace this. We here. So, I ain't got no regrets about it or nothing, but I'm definitely gonna prevent number 4.
Yeah.
Definitely prevent number 4.
Yeah.
Fuck,
I
fuck
agree
no.
with that position. I agree with that position because I'm gonna tell you, a grandmother of 3. I'm tired. When my son was on his 3rd pregnancy, I was like, I'm tired. So the 3rd grandchild's not gonna get as much of me as the first 2 because I got
Yeah.
I'm trying to take back my life at some point. I'm trying to enjoy my life and go out and do things. And I'm in my late 50s. So I'm like, for somebody to have a small kid in their late 50s, I just don't know. I agree with Stacy and I agree with Brandilla. The child loses out. Brandilla just said that her sister is lost when her father died. Brandilla's father died. Her sister was in her late 20s. Brandilla had the experience with her father until she was in her 40s. We're not thinking about the losses that the child suffers when we have children that late in the game. Wait, Chicago said, I don't want two at 43. Oh my God. Damn. I mean, that's
Say that.
honesty though.
Say that again, Hillbilly. That's why grandchildren were invented. Exactly. I got my kids. That's enough. If I want some more, I'll get theirs when they have them. That way I can give them
So
motherfuckers
how you
back.
gonna get grandkids if you never had kids?
Oh, but I got kids.
No,
I got my kids. I got
I'm
three
saying
kids.
for
You know what I'm saying? Eventually they'll have kids.
yeah, for you, but I'm saying for these people out here that's planning kids in their late 40s. Like, there's no grandkids for them.
Hey, I,
They
you
better
know,
move to Texas and get some of them
sucks.
40 kids.
That sucks ass. You know what I'm saying? But I really, but I felt like I was done after my two boys, and the only reason why I even had more than one kid was because if I didn't have boys, my last name was gonna die with me, and
Mm,
I didn't want that to happen. So
mm.
after I had my first boy, I still thought to myself, well, at the rate that this word is going in right now, it's a possibility he can come out gay as fuck and not or not even want kids. So I had to make kid number two,
He can
and
be
that
gay.
came out to be a boy.
He can be gay and still have a
Huh?
kid. I'm gonna fight you.
I wouldn't. I'm be honest. I'm old school. I'm old school to the heart. I would not. I Man, look here. I wouldn't like it if I had a gay son who end up having a son, and then it's a strong possibility he gonna come out gay too, because those are the things you're able to show him because that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's going to learn growing up because that's what he's going to see. So it's a strong possibility he's gonna come out gay.
Being
So that,
gay. That's a whole
huh?
nother conversation. We cannot have that on the
It
show because I
is.
got 5 minutes. But you cannot learn to be gay. That's either you gay or you not. The fuck? But we're gonna table that until tomorrow because
Oh, y'all.
I got to go to my 10:30 meeting, but um that's funny. Cheryl Lee said, oh, Hillbilly said, go pick up an orphan. That's what I say. Cheryl Lee said, especially lose out and are alone if they are the only child. My son-in-law is an only from his parents that and no cousins. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm an only child. Yeah, I'm an only child too. Well, on my mama's side, I got a brother and a sister. On my daddy's side, I don't know, but yeah,
Okay. All right. Well,
but I'm an only child, and it was very lonely growing up. It was very lonely. I got what I wanted, but it was
yes.
lonely.
My son is an only child. That's why he had three. He said I was selfish. Listen, nobody planning for more kids at
Facts.
16. I had him at 16. The hell? I was not that.
I was, I mean, you had a long run to go to have
And
another one.
by the time I got there, I was like, this motherfucker out of Pampers. Like, and then when I tried, I realized that I couldn't naturally have kids. And I was like, oh, God is trying to tell me something. God is trying to tell you something. God, and let me tell you, I don't regret not one bit of it. Like, I feel God saved me because I only have it in me for one child because that one child felt like 8 kids. Okay. So thank you, Lord. I didn't need any more.
I was like, Stacey, you know I love you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put it out there. It was no offense. You know what I'm saying? I love you. You know
Okay,
what I'm
Ghost.
saying? I just
Everybody
want to
know
make
how
that out
your
there.
mouth is. The fuck. Anyway, y'all, listen. I'll be back tomorrow. I promise y'all. I gotta go and catch this 10:30 meeting because it's my meeting and I'm hosting and I'm doing all the talking, so I got to go. Um, I will be
All
back
right,
tomorrow.
y'all
Thanks,
be
Ghost, for
easy.
popping on. And your surgery is Monday, right?
Tuesday.
Oh, I
It's
won't be able
Tuesday.
to touch base. I'm heading to Grenada on Tuesday, and I won't be back until the following Tuesday. And so I'll check on you when
Enjoy it.
yes, I will enjoy it. This trip is going to be interesting. but I'm gonna enjoy it. So I'm gonna come back nice and tan because you know my Jamaica tans are fading. So I gotta get up on my game and get dark.
Lord.
Yes, because all I peeled off. Now I need to go back. All right. Yes,
All right. Well, y'all
has
have a
fewer
blessed
children.
day.
That's why they stopping all this abortion shit because people are not out here trying to pop out these kids like that. It's too fucking expensive. You can't even afford day. Uh,
Uh,
it's too much. But anyway, guys, I gotta go. I got a meeting. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. You know what I say? Always move where peace and love goes. I hope we see you tomorrow. All right. And with that, y'all, I'm gonna send y'all out with the good vibes to remind you that no matter how low, even when you feel low, you can still go. Huh? Even when you feel slow, you can still go. What? Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. And I don't. This is Coffee with Friends, and I am Raw to the Bone. Come back tomorrow, y'all. Move with peace and love and get this message on the way out, huh? Go, yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Huh? To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway. And in the driveway, it's a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredients. Hey! Baby, see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Hey! Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no man. And I don't. I'm out, y'all. Peace. Go, 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 go.